Daniel Ricciardo's unexpected return to the Formula 1 grid has generated a wide range of reactions. Some people were shocked that Alpha Tauri would replace a rookie driver after only 10 races, while others were thrilled to see Ricciardo back in action. Today, we will focus on Yuki Tsunoda, who is likely to experience a mix of emotions. Tsunoda, a promising young Japanese driver, has shown exciting potential this season with Alpha Tauri, albeit against an underperforming Nick DeVries. The big question arises, what if Ricciardo starts earning consistent points? And what if he doesn't outperform DeVries? What implications will that have for Tsunoda? In this discussion, we will delve into these scenarios, so stay tuned. Red Bull made a surprising announcement on Tuesday, stating that Ricciardo had been loaned from his position as the third driver for the World Championship leading team to replace Nick DeVries at Alpha Tauri for the remainder of the 2023 season. This caught many off guard, considering that Alpha Tauri currently sits at the bottom of the constructors' standings. Ricciardo had previously expressed his interest in returning to a competitive car, so the decision to join Alpha Tauri seems unexpected. However, just a few days before the announcement, Ricciardo had mentioned to the press that he would accept a seat at Red Bull's sister team if it was part of a pathway back to a more competitive position on the grid. There's a growing media pressure on Sergio Perez, which puts his position in the sport at risk. While we don't know if Red Bull shares the same concerns, there is speculation about potential replacements and early contract terminations. Ricciardo's move to Red Bull has only fueled these discussions. It is possible that Red Bull informed Ricciardo that his performance at Alpha Tauri could secure him a future seat alongside Max Verstappen, perhaps using this off-season as a way to assess his suitability. However, I suspect that Red Bull might not have excessively high expectations for Ricciardo and simply aim to stabilize Alpha Tauri and make the team more competitive, aligning with the goals of the upper management. Sky Sports' Martin Brundle shares our surprise, stating, "I'm really pleased to see him back, but honestly, Daniel doing that? Wow, it surprised me because Daniel has talked about losing his mojo and needing to regain his enthusiasm. I didn't think he would take that step unless there was another deal involved, like you do this and down the road we'll do that." Another aspect of this potential deal that raises my skepticism is that the team just experienced a similar gamble. They appointed DeVries based on a robust performance at Monza, but it didn't work out as expected. Now, they're giving Ricciardo a chance based on a simulator work and one successful tire test, even though he won't be driving the car during this season. It seems unlikely that they would promise him a seat at Red Bull without seeing more of him. Brundle adds, "I'm sure he has had 6 months of simulator work, but not being a Formula 1 driver would have had significant impact on him. I can fully understand the attraction of being one of the 20 on the grid. My overall feeling is that Formula 1 is a better place with Daniel Ricciardo on the grid, and I hate seeing him lingering around all weekend. Having Daniel back on the grid will be good for Formula 1. He adds entertainment value. His driving style is exciting, and it will be great for Alpha Tauri." A guy who was released after 2 terrible seasons, talked about his mental health struggles, took a break to sort himself out, and then came back successfully. It's like material from a film script, but will he actually succeed? Ricciardo will face Yuki Tsunoda as his new teammate at Alpha Tauri. Tsunoda, a Japanese driver, has already demonstrated his potential by outperforming DeVries in an impressive start of the season. Despite Tsunoda's form, Brundle believes that Ricciardo should be given 1 or 2 races to adjust to the Alpha Tauri before being fully assessed. However, to secure a future in Formula 1, the 34-year-old Australian must outperform his teammate convincingly. Brundle remarks, "It's a high-risk situation for Daniel, considering that he's probably driving the slowest car on the grid. He needs to outperform his teammate in qualifying and during the races. That's the absolute expectation. Maybe he can even surpass the limitations of the car. If he significantly outperforms the car and consistently places it in or near the top 10, it could be seen as a remarkable achievement. The crux of this move is that if Daniel can't beat Yuki, then his career is over. Similarly, if Daniel returns and outperforms Yuki, it could prematurely end the young Japanese driver's career just as it's beginning." Helmut Marko revealed that Ricciardo was informed before the Pirelli test at Silverstone that if he performed well, the Rise seat would be his. Marko explained that Ricciardo knew he would secure the seat if he delivered strong results, and he passed that stress test with flying colors. Daniel now becomes the benchmark for our junior driver Tsunoda. Marko acknowledges the progress Tsunoda has made over the past 3 years, acknowledging that it hasn't been easy for the young Honda prodigy, who has had to mature and improve his driving skills. Initially, when he entered the grid in 2021, Tsunoda displayed explosive anger, much like Nikita Mazepin, but he has managed to overcome that quickly. Although Tsunoda has shown glimpses of speed, his true progress can only be measured against his previous teammate DeVries, who performed poorly enough to be replaced after 10 races. Ricciardo is known for his fierce competitiveness against teammates. He outperformed 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel at Red Bull, held his ground against a young Max Verstappen, and established his dominance over Nico Hülkenberg and Esteban Ocon at Renault. However, his time at McLaren, alongside Lando Norris and the specific challenges faced there, made Ricciardo appear average at best, although we know there were other contributing factors. Tsunoda's performance against his previous F1 teammates has been the opposite of Ricciardo's, albeit with a smaller sample size. While he struggled in his 2 seasons alongside Pierre Gasly, Tsunoda started to turn things around in late 2022. This season, with Gasly replaced by rookie driver DeVries, Tsunoda has solidified his position as Alpha Tauri's lead driver and displayed consistent form similar to his strong finish in 2022. However, Ricciardo's arrival will provide Tsunoda with a new level of competition. Although Ricciardo may not be the same driver he was when he was touted as a future world champion, he still possesses considerable skill and should be considered a step above Tsunoda. Ricciardo may not be at his peak, but top team bosses will recognize that defeating him would be a more significant display of Tsunoda's progress and potential compared to his predecessor. If Tsunoda loses to Ricciardo, he will jeopardize the credit he has been building since late last year. Doubts regarding his ultimate potential and ability will resurface, his chances of progressing within the Red Bull program will stall, and even Honda and his 2026 partner Aston Martin might reconsider Tsunoda's long-term prospects. A motivated and informed Ricciardo serves as an excellent benchmark for Tsunoda, both on and off the track. If Ricciardo performs at his best, he will be a formidable opponent to beat. However, if Tsunoda manages to achieve that feat, it will hold even greater significance. This moment is likely the most crucial in both drivers' careers. Daniel finds himself in the most challenging team to regain his confidence, but if he succeeds, he could make his way back to Red Bull next year. Yuki has the opportunity to prove to Formula 1 that he is the real deal and deserves a chance with a team that consistently competes for points. The outcome of the Alpha Tauri teammate battle will determine the trajectory of their careers. The winner will have the opportunity to reach new heights, while the loser might face the possibility that this season could be their last. The final results remain uncertain, but the anticipation is high. Who do you believe will come out on top in the Alpha Tauri's teammate battle? And will the loser's career end? Remember, you can always box here at F1 Box. Like this video and subscribe for all the latest in Formula 1.